Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the most fabulous fun time ever Sunday stream at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or today, 4:14.
4-ish.
I think I left it open over here. I hear myself.
Nothing worse than hearing yourself.
I had opened it over there to type into the chat to tell you guys that we were going to be late, and then nothing like being so super professional. I don't know. I think at some point I might get good at this streaming thing. I don't know. I mean, at least now I do know that we are live and I'm not talking to myself. So yeah. Hey everybody, and thanks for being here. And I am really sorry that I'm going to keep saying we are late, even though James keeps saying you are late. So I know that some of you remember that this machine had a lockup problem a while back, and it took a long time to trace it down, and it turned out reseating the RAM seemed to have fixed it. I don't know if it's related, but when I came and turned it on today, it was locked up solid. I did reboot at that point, and then for whatever reason, StreamYard wouldn't give me a camera, so I rebooted again, and then Windows decided it was time to run some updates. Yay. And then when it came up, StreamYard still wouldn't give me a camera. I went to reboot again, and Microsoft had more updates. And so this time I'm not running through OBS. So no fancy cameras today, no changing. This is the only view you get of me. So how are you, Brother James?
Well, I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. I really like that camera. I got to get me one of them 4K cameras. That's really sharp, man. Even though it's uploading at 720p to StreamYard.
Well, the colors and everything are much better than my regular stuff.
It makes you look better than even in real life.
Well, that's not much of an improvement. The only issue is the random closing. So if anybody else in chat has one, this is a Sony 4K Handycam. I don't remember the exact model. Is it printed on the front? It's the FDR AX53.
It does exactly that. That's exactly what James was just talking about. It does that.
So when it does that, are you guys seeing in the stream the little icon it displays?
There's a right in the middle.
A little microchip or something.
Yeah.
So it does that every it's done. We've been in chat. You've been back on maybe 10 minutes, and that's the second time it's done it.
Yeah, I did it shortly after I put us in, and then again now. So yeah, it's.
So if anybody knows why it does that, or if it's an issue with the camera, it doesn't do that when I'm recording directly to the memory card. It only does it when I've got it hooked up like this, and not hooked up like this. It only does it when it's on but not recording. Because if I disconnect the HDMI cable, it still does it.
Weird.
And I've gone in and disabled, maybe there's another setting, but there's a power savings mode, and I turned power saving just off, because otherwise it turns off after 5 minutes or whatever.
Right, of course.
So.
So yeah, if there's any Sony Handycam people, and for the record, Barnacules is using this same camera and not having this issue. So.
Yeah, because as far as I know, he hooks it up more or less the same way, and he does his streaming with it, and he does 2 or 3 hour streams. I don't think he would have that happen every 5 minutes and be happy with it. So
it's a psych out. You think it's going to be a YouTube commercial, but let me tell you what. Speaking of, YouTube needs to stop. They have gone way crazy with the ads. I mean, you can't even watch somebody's 8-minute video now without 4 ads breaking into the middle of it.
And meanwhile, my ad revenue dropped by $7 a month over the past month, even though my views are
because everybody's getting tired of it. Nobody wants to watch that garbage. So.
I'm using the Elgato 4K USB capture. I forget what the name of it is, but Glenn uses the same one.
Yeah, it's the Cam Link.
Yeah,
the 4K Cam Link.
And again, it doesn't matter if it's connected to the Cam Link with HDMI or whatever, or if it's just sitting there turned on, waiting to hit record. It still does it. So, I thought you were drinking a regular Coke there instead of a a Coke Zero for a second.
No, it's still a Coke Zero. I'm just waiting for that sponsorship from Coca-Cola.
We go through probably 70 cans a week of that stuff between Kay and I.
Well, it's really funny because the cans are really hard to get here right now. They said that there's a shortage on the aluminum cans themselves. So like, you can get tons of Diet Coke because nobody wants to drink that garbage. But the regular Cokes and the Coke Zeros are getting really hard to find around here.
So I took Friday off. So I worked Friday. There was a workbench in our laundry room. My original plan, because our house isn't overly big, so I was trying to maximize what I could do with stuff. And we don't have a garage. So I wanted a spot to be able to do woodworking. So we split the laundry room between the laundry section, and I had a workbench set up and everything in there. I did one project in there, and the furnace caught all the dust coming off what I did and circulated it through the house. So it's subsequently just been shelving. But not optimal shelving because it has a shelf underneath where you can store stuff. I don't know where to look right now because like I can't see you and I can't. The setup's not the greatest. I think I'm gonna go back to the dark screen, but more sense. Yeah. Okay.
It's really dark.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's better if I do that or if I do the like slightly laggy? I guess I'm not really moving around a ton.
No, go back to the other camera. It's okay if you're not looking at the camera. I don't either. I look over here to read the chat. I mean.
I'm going to leave it up because I'm going to need to use this later on. Oh, yeah, you can see what a mess things are. Everything's torn apart right now. Our basement's torn apart. The laundry room's torn apart. So I had this workbench. So Friday I took the day off. I disassembled the workbench because I had to assemble the workbench in there. It's bigger than the door. So I disassembled it. I cut a bunch of the pieces and shortened it, and I replaced – I had a folding table that I had some printers on, and obviously folding table not the greatest for, anything long-term.
Right.
There's one of those Rubbermaid ones, too, where it breaks in the middle and folds like this, so it's like sandwiched. Yep. So Friday I took it apart, recut all the pieces to make it a little bit thinner because it didn't need to be so big, reassembled it. Yesterday I bought wood and I built like wall-to-wall shelving in the laundry room, so now I'd say we've probably got over double the storage with it. But the wall here is the wall where the laundry room is, and that's where the storage is. I was screwing stuff into the studs this morning, and all of a sudden I hear a crash. So my Superman mug fell off the shelving, and it chipped.
You have to time that perfectly. Every time that happens, you have to stop saying whatever you're saying and then continue.
Yeah. It's going to be that's going to be more annoying than anything. I'm probably and so here's the thing.
5 minutes.
I finished a bunch of stuff fell off my shelving here. So my Captain America helmet, the first prop or thing that I did, like the standing and finishing everything, it fell off and it broke. So it's done. That fell off and chipped. And I went to find a replacement for this, and it's $100 from the manufacturer for this. I got it as a Christmas gift a couple of years ago. I'm like, well, it's okay because the other side looks exactly the same and doesn't have a chip out of it. And since it's mostly on just display, I'll just point the chip away. But yeah, so just hear a crash, and I come out, and the Captain America Ready Printer 1 cabinet's here, and it's hanging off the ledge. Like if I'd put in one more screw, it was going off. So, yeah.
Whew.
All I have to say, so the shelving's finished.
Fun weekend, huh?
Again. But, yeah, my long weekend, my 3-day weekend was literally just working nonstop.
Well, and see, that's what I told you. That's why I don't want to take vacation time right now, is because I wouldn't go anywhere. I would end up just like wasting my vacation time. So it's like, I don't know.
You know what we need to do? The next time it cuts out, we need to start timing to see if it is random or if it's every like X number of minutes down to the dot. Yeah, because it was 4:17 when it did it the last time, and then it was 4:22. So that'd be 5 minutes. So 4:17, 4:22. So we'd be expecting the next one at 4:27. I know somewhere on this fancy device I have here. Upset Michael's in chat. Upset Michael. There's lots of good people in chat, and then there's that one guy. But we got Chris Riley in here today, and Chris says he has the same setup. Do you have the same Sony camera? Now I'll wait 30 seconds for the delay.
Of course, yeah. Paul Cumber tells me to get an ad blocker. I actually have one. I have the software ones that run in the browser on my computer as well as a Pi-hole. But it's on the Android device is the problem. And if you block,
just opening his Pi-hole again.
yeah, if you block Google's ad servers, it also blocks a lot of their regular services. So Chris says he does.
Have you ever? So you've never set it up this way though? You usually just use it for recording. My latest videos have been done. So here's the thing. I bought this setup. I bought the Elgato capture device because one of the biggest pains in the butt for me right now is I have this Blue Yeti mic, which does a very good job of recording. It has very, very low noise. If I connect it, because all it has is a headphone out on it and then the USB. If I connect it through the headphone out, it doesn't include the noise cancellation. So there's noise in it. So there's no point in using it that way. So what I've been doing is capturing the audio with my PC, the video on the camera on the SD card, then combining them in my editor, and that's a whole extra step. The software I have doesn't really do a great job of combining the audio and the video. So what I end up doing is syncing them up perfectly, rendering that into a file, and then using that to edit. So it adds an extra probably half an hour to an hour of processing time for me to do stuff, and I'm trying to make it a little more streamlined for me to process stuff. So I bought the Elgato because I'm like, well, then I'll just capture 4K directly from the camera onto my computer with the audio, and then it's already in sync and it's ready to go.
Right.
So problem number one, I have to capture completely uncompressed, because if I even use light compression on it to try and do basically any processing that takes place during the fact, I drop frames. My GPU and CPU immediately go to 100%. So it can't handle, and it's a Ryzen 2700X, so it's what, 8 core, and then I've got nothing's top of the line, but it never occurred to me that 4K would be so intense on the computer. So this whole setup, so I was like, well, at least I can still use the 4K camera to live stream, because that works really well and the picture's so much clearer than a regular camera. But if it's going to cut out every 5 minutes, which we should be getting to,
Mm-hmm. I got my finger on the button for the stopwatch.
Because we're 427. So the last time it was at 422, and before that was 417.
Mm-hmm. And there it was.
I'm willing to bet it's 5 minutes, though. You click the button anyways?
I did, yeah. We are recording.
I'm going to Google Sony Handycam resets every 5 minutes. After there's an answer.
So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the stuff that's on my bench is exactly the stuff that was on my bench the last time we streamed, which was 2 weeks ago. I have done absolutely nothing up here in 2 weeks. So I've spent the last 2 weeks, every waking moment that I can tolerate the heat, I've been out in my big garage cleaning and throwing stuff away and selling stuff on Facebook, which so far I've only made about $80, but it's still $80 I didn't have. And it's stuff that's gone. I also gave away a bunch of stuff, but I took 10 bags of garbage to the dump 2 weeks ago. So I know I've told you guys this, but I have a 4,000 square foot garage. Now that's not 4,000 square feet usable because there's an apartment in there. But I still have usable space. I have 40 by 80. And usable space that's clean, I have 40 by 20. So it's time. Now, some of that is cars parked in there, but it's time. It's time to get rid of a bunch of junk I don't need. I'm not collecting stuff anymore. I still didn't use the H word. Chris said, crap, I'm moving to Glenn's house. Not only do I have that monstrous garage, my wife actually let me build that thing before we built the house. But it worked out for storing all the construction materials for the house. Did you find something? You don't have any audio. You're really quiet. I'm alone. Kay says to get rid of it all. You can hear me though, right? Yeah, I have no audio from you. You know, one day we will figure out how to do all of this live stream and stuff. Oh. Well, I did manage to finish the upgrades on
Hello?
the Prusa. Hey there, I can hear you.
You know why? Streamlabs StreamYard had defaulted to using the mic on here, which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't know there was audio pass through from it. So the more you know, I guess.
There you go. Well, I can hear you now, so
Sorry about that.
it's all right.
No, sorry that you can hear me.
I just thought you were like just being really quiet. But yeah, so I did manage to get the updates done. I haven't flashed the firmware to the new firmware yet for the 2.5S. It's still 2.5 firmware, and I broke the electronics case, so I have to print a new one of those. But I need this printer to do it, so we're gonna hold it together with bubble gum and toothpicks. But I did realize today that I didn't put back on the most important part, and that is my my Ethan Makes extruder. What do they call that?
Spinny thing?
Well, yeah, but it's I don't know. I can't remember. Old age.
Now it's just going to be me going through menu options for the next 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, the question I'd asked you was, did you find something on Google about it?
No, I could not. There's stuff about the camera crashing, but I don't think like it. For example, it just did it while I'm holding it.
Oh yeah, because I'm running the timer and then you took it off. So but if it just did it while you're holding it, we're at 5 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, it did it 20, 30 seconds ago, but the menu didn't go away on the screen. Like I just heard it open and close the aperture, which is what it's been doing.
That's just really weird stuff, man.
Like I'm trying to see if there's a lens setting or anything in here that might have something about it.
Well, maybe it's just blinking its eye to clear the dust. Visualizer. There you go. Jeff Bowen, sorry. Paul Kummer wants to know, what do you do with nothing on the roll of filament? Are you talking about what to do with the old spools when you're done? I throw them away. There are, if you Google search, there's like people have figured out tons of things to do with empty spools as far as, you know, repurposing them and stuff. But I mean, you can only build so many different projects with empty spools.
So I'm gonna try one more thing here.
You can wrap Christmas lights around them.
There's no memory card in it, so I'm wondering if it's not in a state where it thinks it can record, if there's something else that goes. Like basically, I'm going to turn it on right now. Do you have a timer ready to go again by any chance?
I can't. It'll take me like 5 seconds.
I'll give you 6.
Okay.
On your marks, get set, go. I'm going to say plus or minus 5 seconds because it may wait until like the camera part's initialized.
Right.
So I'm not going to connect it. I'll just use this for now.
Well, I mean, this is by, you know, no intent and purposes, anything scientific.
Right. So one of the things I've wanted to do for a while, because I use Pies a lot for my emulation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But in my experience, PC emulation's always been better than Pi. Pis are just more convenient, right? So 2 or 3 years ago, I read about this thing called the Intel Compute Stick. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
And I've hemmed and hawed, and I finally bought one. Right.
Okay.
This is an entire, I think, quad core computer, like an x64 quad core computer stuck into something that, you know, you wouldn't call it the size of a USB stick, but it's like slightly larger than the Elgato encoder. So I've hemmed and hawed about buying one of these, and finally I'm going to buy it off Amazon. And if it doesn't do what I want it to, I'm going to return it. And there's a sticker on the bottom. If this seal is broken, the product is used. I managed to open it without
breaking the sticker. That's always a challenge.
Bend the cardboard just a little bit and get it over the lip. I don't know if I'll be able to close it again. Probably, but
I love that. It's always a challenge to try to do that, or you know, even to peel it without it looking like you opened it.
Yep. Yeah, so I was gonna play with this a bit on stream. It's pretty heavy, like it's for the size of it, but it has the same power it has less power requirements than a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah,
it's 5 volts, 2 amps.
It looks like a comical sized USB thumb drive.
It's like, yeah, I built a USB thumb drive. It stores 2 terabytes of data. Like, I mean, you could buy one of those USB 4-port hubs where it's like the little square ones or whatever. Stick it in the middle of this and put 4 1 terabyte USB sticks or 512 meg USB drives sticks in it, and then mount the hub cable here, and then have them software rated together.
Yeah.
Look at the size of my USB stick, 4 terabytes.
Bring it in and plug it. Big Mike wants to know, what type of cars do I have in my garage? Am I a car collector? Well, I'm a collector. Not necessarily a car collector per se. I just collect everything. But no, I've got a 1976 Corvette Stingray that desperately needs a new home. So if somebody's looking to buy one of those, reach out to me. It's a survivor car. It's pretty unmolested. It has like 82 or 83,000 original miles on it. I have a 1992 Chevy full-size pickup truck that I took off the road for a 2-week repaint project about 20 years ago. So, but that project is getting back underway. I just recently bought a parts car, because you should always have a parts car. Whatever car you own, you should have another one that you can take parts off of. It's very handy. But yeah, it's that truck, every nut and bolt has been taken out of that thing and is starting to be put back together. I have a pair of 92 Eagle Talons, turbocharged, all-wheel drive. One is in, we'll say, lesser shape than the other one, but those haven't been really on the road in a long time, but my white one definitely needs to be, though I don't know where I can drive it around here. Just, it's not really made for the road. But yeah, and then I have like lots and lots of junk. But I have a really nice work bay. I have a 2-post car lift. I have more tools than any man should own. So, I mean, I have a nice setup. And now I'm looking at buying a new MIG welder. So, because I want to build, I've been designing my own car trailer to be my ultimate car trailer, and I want to build it. So, but I need a newer welder for that. My welder is just not good enough.
I am still here. I am just off camera for a second looking for something.
It's okay. We're at 4 minutes and 45 seconds, just so you know.
I am within eardrop. It is audible when it does it, so.
USCCA or drag race a Talon? It was always quarter-mile drag race.
There, it just did it again.
5 minutes and 2 seconds, so probably right at 5 seconds or 5 minutes.
Yeah. So
yeah, quarter-mile drag race with the Talon, and it was in the 12s when I took it off the road. But 67 Camaro, very nice. I like it. Yeah, I had a 72. I've owned so many cars over the years. In fact, I've bought cars and sold them before I got home with them. But I had a 72 Chevy Nova that I bought when I was really young. I was only like 17. And I bought it from the guy at the junkyard, and it already had a roll cage in it and stuff. It was brilliant. And I brought it home, had it in the yard, and I didn't have the money to put into it. There was no motor or transmission in it. Most of the interior was gutted because it was a race car. And I didn't have any money, and I had it sitting there. And the guy who had owned it prior to stopped by the house and offered to buy it back because he had taken it to the junkyard to have work done on it, and then couldn't afford to pay the bill, so they kept it. They sold the motor out of it. Then I bought it, so then I sold it back to him for a profit.
It's the circle of life. Okay, so the big hiccup here is that the Elgato receiver is behind my computer, and I have a 15-foot HDMI cable attached to it, but I have two male ends that I have no male, no gender bender attached to.
No coupler.
Yep. So that project died instantly.
Paul Cumber said I should pass my cars down to my boys. The insurance. Xander wants the Corvette, but there's no way he could afford the insurance on it. I also have a 66 T-Bird that is definitely in the project category. I believe all the parts for it. I have the motor and transmission. They're disassembled. That was the way, well, the transmission's not, but the motor is, which is the way that I got it. And it's been sitting, and it's very patinaed now. So that needs to find a new home too, because I finally decided I'm not going to do anything with it, and I'd rather it not just rot away. I don't think I have a mute button, but I have to cough. Maybe I'll mute my mic. For some reason, I have like a tickle in my throat. Must be the corona.
The Rona. My Corona.
But it was really funny because I went and bought this Suburban a couple weeks ago for a parts car. I paid $700 for it. The bottom of it's out of New York, and the bottom of it is rusted like crazy. In fact, yesterday I realized that the front bumper isn't even there anymore. It's just the chrome. Like there's no steel behind the chrome. But so I brought it home, and I came in and I called Xander down and I said, hey, I bought you a car. And he's like, what? I'm like, I bought you a car. It's out in the side yard. Because I was expecting to run out there and be like, ugh. And he goes out and he's like, oh, I like it. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, I'll get you one, just not this one. Because this one needs to never touch a road again. It's that rusted out. I opened the tailgate on it. It's not the barn door style. It's the glass hatch and the tailgate. And when you lower the tailgate, the one hinge doesn't even have anything to hook to anymore. But the entire interior is there, which is what I went looking for. So I get door panels and seats, and all of those years, the GMT 400 trucks, the 95 and 96, the dash was a little different. And then 97, they added airbags. This is a 99, but the seats are always torn, and the bolster on the driver's side is usually shredded. And this one's got one tear in the seat, but the entire bolster is there. So I'm like, yeah, it's worth it. I mean, the seats would have cost me more than $700. So welcome to the 3D printing stream.
Have we talked about anything 3D printing related today?
I talked about my printer for a couple.
Oh, right. That's right. Absolutely.
You did talk about your Captain America thing that got broken.
That's true. I can show the not the next design, but the design after the next design for which the 26 or Pi 26 ways. So the next case I've designed is this guy. So this prints is one piece, and you take your Pi, and it drops onto the little post there, and then you can. Oh, the Pi moved, but yeah. snap it into place. Now you got a locked in frame around your Pi.
Very cool.
And there's a couple of mounting holes in the back so you can attach it to, whatever you want to attach it to. You can put M4s through there.
Well, and it's got full access to everything. The GPIO pins are easily accessible.
Yeah, and I added a mounting spot for a 30 millimeter fan too. And the fan's centralized enough. And like the idea is, and I can't show right now because I've got this massive cooler on my only Pi 4.
That is a massive cooler for a Pi.
So I'm working on a video for this. I've been doing thermal testing with this. This Pi is currently overclocked so its regular clock speed is 1.5 gigahertz, and it's currently running with this at 2.15.
Wow.
And the thermals stay below 60. So I haven't played any of the Dreamcast games on it, but I've been told that if you can get it above 2 gigahertz, it'll play Dreamcast games at full speed.
Wow.
So that's been something I've been doing.
That alone amazes me. The fact that the Dreamcast was made so long ago, and then now here we are, so many years later, with newer technology that can't do what that machine did way back then.
Yep. I think a lot of that boils down to the fact that there's so many custom chips in these systems. You know what I mean?
Right. They're built for a specific purpose, and
and not only that, but the hardware that's specific to the console then often never there's never here's a technical sheet on how it works. So it's people trying to figure out what it was doing. One of the reasons, if you look into the history with N64 emulators, the Nintendo 64, you have that folding. Not yet. This one's probably 6 weeks away from being downloadable. I don't know if I'm going to continue to do it. I don't know if anybody actually cares. I've been releasing my Pi case designs to my Patreon supporters first, and then waiting a month and uploading them elsewhere. I don't know that anybody actually cares though. So me trying to keep track of which one's supposed to get uploaded when. But yeah, so this isn't this week's video upcoming. It'll be next week's, and the idea would be 4 weeks after that. But I'm gonna check with my Patreon supporters, see if there's anybody that's like, no, I'm only supporting you because I get the perk of getting your stuff early.
Well, so if anybody wants that case early, you just PayPal me $20 and I'll send it to you.
My Raspberry Pi cases, the videos for it so far, unless I post them all over the place, have been my least viewed videos since in the past 2 years. My Dreamcast one hasn't hit 100 views yet on 3,000 subscribers or 2,900 subscribers. So I don't know. I'm buckled in for 26 episodes of this, but it might have been a misstep.
Well, you never know till you try it, you know?
Yep.
Chris Riley says he's testing that cam for you now.
So you'll have to go in, and there's a power saving option. You have to switch it to nothing, and then it still does it apparently. Well, I mean, it's not like it's power saving, right? It's it turns off the aperture and then turns it back on. Now, so here's another thing. When it was first doing it and it would cut out, did my audio cut out as well, or did the video just go away?
I don't know. I thought you stopped talking when it happened.
Oh yeah. So I'm using the Yeti mic because I'm like, the camera isn't resetting itself, because when I was in the menus and it did it, the menus didn't go away or anything like that. It just
If
the iris closes and then it reopens.
If your audio is not running through the camera, then it shouldn't affect the audio at all.
No, but before that, because do you remember when I disconnected it?
Yeah, that's right. It was running through the. Yeah, I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
James, you need to tell your videos everything's actually a pie, not a cake. I'm 3 videos deep, or 2 videos deep, or whatever. It's too late to retitle my series. I don't need brand confusion. Well, I'm looking forward to jumping into this dude, but
Chris says this only does HDMI out at 1080p for some reason. Yeah, but even without, James's does it even if it's not actually hooked up to the HDMI out.
Yeah,
with the camera just sitting there.
Yeah,
it was clicking out every 5 minutes. So you don't even have to actually hook it up. Just turn it on and see if it clicks out every 5 minutes.
Oh, the interesting thing about this case. So I was talking to Chris, and Chris was describing a case that he wanted. And this is what I designed. And then I said to Chris, does that meet your requirement? And he's like, I hate to say it, but no, that's not what I was thinking at all.
Well, that's all right. Now you can design another one.
So this, so I've got this week's video done and already uploaded. I got to film one on this, which this will be a short video because it's not nearly as, there's no, you need these screws or any of this stuff to put it together. Throw your pie in and then snap it shut.
Well, that just means that you have to fill the time with a poorly done time lapse.
Hey, my time lapses are sweet now. I've got my time lapse set up with the Octolapse and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I was actually picking on myself because that's how I used to fill the Xander's Thing Thursdays for time.
Try and get to that. What was your minimum time? Were you trying to get to like the 10-minute mark so you get the extra ad roll?
No. We were just trying to keep them in at about 2.5 minutes.
Oh, okay. And it's like, well, it's only 30 seconds this time. What are we going to do with the rest of it? Well, we'll throw a joke in at the beginning, some bloopers in at the end, and then the other minute can be a time lapse.
So I got a copyright strike.
Yeah, you did.
When was that, Xander? Was it last night? No, Friday night. Yeah, Friday night. So I'm already in bed watching TV, and all of a sudden I get a message from YouTube that I had a copyright strike. It was on the Xander's Thing Thursday video number 7.
From like how long ago?
3 years ago.
And what was in it that was copyright strikeable?
So I had music that ran during the time lapse. And so I clicked on it and I watched that section of the video and I didn't recognize the song. It was 3 years ago. And so I actually have a copyright strike that's legit. I bought the song, but they said, oh, you bought the song, but you didn't buy the rights to use it in the video. So I thought, all right, you're right. I screwed up. But so I looked down in the description and it's music provided by bensound.com. That's BENSOUND, bensound.com. And I thought, well, Bensound is royalty-free music. There you go. And so I look, well, that's not who claimed the copyright. Somebody claimed his work as theirs. So I had hopped over to bensound.com and it said, if this happens, let me know, file the appeal, whatever, and go through the process. So I did, and I let him know, and he wrote me back and said he appreciates it, and if there's anything he can do, whatever. So we'll see, but I'm gonna be losing that 3 cents a week. So, but no, this is a plug for Bensound. If you need royalty-free music, all you have to do is attribute it. And he produces some pretty good fun stuff. So Chris Riley says, I have it in OBS now on Camlink. We shall see. Went to sleep and started playing ads.
Somebody recommended taking the battery off and seeing if it happens again.
His camera went to sleep and started playing ads?
Yeah, mine did that too. If it doesn't think it's actually doing anything, like if HDMI is not connected, anyways, it started displaying information about the camera, and it was kind of like the sales pitch. Like if you saw
like a demo mode.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why my voice is so messed up today. I mean, I haven't been yelling at the kids any more than I normally do.
Well, they deserve it.
Chris Lane said, a long time ago, I heard that people could play 30 seconds of a song without issue, but that was before YouTube. That was actually, that was a way of that people just kind of
justified it.
It's never actually been legally okay.
Yeah, they can go. So I've been reading it. Then, like, take it at face value or whatever if you want. That Mr. Beast has had copyright strikes on his videos because they sang a couple of the words for a song. Like, so it wasn't even a recording of it. It was just like they like, don't stop, and then it was like, nope, copyright strike.
Hey, thanks a lot, jerk. No.
No, because they also said believing. So.
Yeah, well, and that's I don't know. It's becoming a really rough world for things like that, and I don't want to say this too loud because the kids are downstairs, but so Zach and Xander both have a go-kart, but Xander never drives his. He's just too good for that. And so here's Zach always ripping around in his go-kart, and his best friend actually lives in the house right behind me. And so I thought, well, he could ride the other go-kart. And then I thought, lawsuit. Something went wrong. So I reached out to my attorney guy today and I said, hey, what kind of liabilities would I have? And he's like, oh, no.
All of the liabilities.
Yeah. He said that you could use a general liability form and blah, but the world is just so crazy right now, yeah. It's just, I mean, even if the people who had filed the copyright strike against my video, even if it was legit, I mean, really? Like, you're going to get more from people hearing the song, liking it, and going to find it than you're going to get from my videos. Mainly one that's 3 years old, Paul says, I miss Xander's thing. Yeah, me too. But he's too hard to deal with anymore.
He's got that the diva complex.
Chris Riley says, so my camera appears to not do that 5-minute shut off thing. Well, see, he still hasn't had a haircut. He looks like, was it Cousin It from Addams Family?
Chris, do you have a battery stuck in yours?
Yeah, Chris Lane said, unless you're somehow disparaging the song or the artist, there can only be good publicity. Well, exactly. And I mean, I do attribute everything that I use if I have to, like.
Credit where
credit's due. No SD card. Battery, but no
so
SD.
I had no SD card and battery, and it was doing it before. So, are there firmware updates for this camera? I haven't looked into any of that stuff.
And how long have you had the camera?
Over a year.
Huh.
It's seen very little use until recently. And again, if it's recording, it's fine.
I have to put this comment up.
Yeah, I just saw that. Well, it's because we don't know what 3D printing is, so how could we possibly do any of it?
Well, I was going to question him on this on a private level, but out here in public will be much more fun. So, 2 weeks ago we had Mr. Riley on as our guest, and it was so much fun. I miss hanging out with Chris. And then he writes a Patreon post, and in that Patreon post, he comments about his time on Fun Playtime, which we have not called the show Fun Playtime in like months. So thanks a lot, Chris.
Thanks for complete. Yeah.
Thanks for not even knowing what show you were on, man. I got a kick out of that. But at least, I read your Patreon posts.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything for firmware or whatever, but I'm not seeing anything.
Big Mike says that his grandkids miss Xander's videos. I'm actually thinking about rebooting them, but letting Zach do it. Zach definitely wants some more screen time, and he's at that age I mean, he's not as young as Xander was when we started, or is he? I guess he is about that age. So he'll be unruly, just like Xander was back then. I totally ruined your brand. That guy play King 3D.
Hey, I was just talking about how I've been using Raspberry Pis because they're so much easier to set up than a PC for emulation. I just figured it out. So I've got a Pi, right? There's the Pi, and I've got my new compute stick. Oh, look at that! Bam! Now it's easy to use and powerful. Slam that into the back of your arcade cabinet, and you're good to go. No video up, but whatever.
No problem. Just a couple pieces of hardware.
I'm sure they're meant to go together, right? Like they fit like a glove.
Yeah, this was that that computer that I was telling you about that I had laying around. As far as using it for an emulation machine, this is it's an Intel. I can't remember what chip's in it now. I think it's an i5.
Oh, that'll tackle everything.
But I mean, look how tiny that is.
That's a NUC, right? The Intel NUC. Like I think that's what they call that line of PCs.
I don't. It's just a fanless PC.
Oh, you're not a fan?
No, I'm totally fanless. So, but I've decided that I'm going to actually use this as a garage computer. I'm going to take. I have a couple of TVs sitting around because we got upgrades last Black Friday, and so I'm going to take one of the older 32-inch TVs out there and hook that thing up. So I have a PC out there for referencing torque specs and whatever.
So years ago when Kayleen worked for Future Shop, which is, did you guys have Future Shops in the States? No, right? You guys just had Best Buy. So Future Shop was like the Canadian version of Best Buy. They had the same parent company. There's some differences. Future Shop was was commission based, and Best Buy is non-commission based.
Correct.
So some people preferred one over the other because commission, you go in and the person's a little more willing to work with you because they're getting something out of it. But non-commission, then they're not pressuring you to buy. But anyways, ultimately, there's places where there's Best Buy and Future Shop in the same parking lot in Canada, and they'd have people who go into Future Shop getting arguments. I'm not giving you my business anymore. I'm going to go next door to Best Buy. Go ahead. I'm not putting my money in your left hand anymore. I'm putting in the right hand instead. So, Kay would often get really good deals on clearance stuff that had been sitting around for a while or whatever. And they had a 32-inch TV that had been like on the wall, but as a display item, but never been plugged in for like 3 years. And we had no TV in our bedroom. She's like, I can get this 32-inch TV for $100. And like this was at a time when a 32-inch TV was, still like $300 or $400. It was, or actually, I think more than that. It was a very good deal. So she's like, the only problem is there's no stand, so we'd have to wall mount it. So she comes home with the TV and the cheapest wall mount because it's 32-inch TV. There's not a lot to it. So I spend all the time. We find the studs. I mount it up properly, get it nice and flush, attach it to the TV, put the TV on, plug in. TV doesn't turn on. It's dead. It's DOA, completely toast. So she goes back to work with it and says, I would just return it, except for it didn't come with a stand. We've already put the mount in the wall. So like there's holes in the wall. We have to have something there. Is there anything we can trade it for? He's like, well, the guy that was working the department is like, we're out of open box. And
okay, so don't tell my secrets.
I'm actually going to wait for her to say whether or not it's okay to finish the story because I can't tell if she's joking and we're not within. So, Case
doesn't work there anymore,
and Future Shop doesn't even exist anymore. Case, stomp on the floor once if it's okay for me to keep going.
And Best Buy as a whole can go jump off a cliff, but
I'm waiting for the stomp or the not stomp. Oh, go ahead. So one of the managers walks around and he's like, yeah, we don't have any more open box. And then goes to a brand new, and it was an Insignia, so it's their brand or whatever, slits the seal and goes, oh, I guess that's an open box now. So she got a brand new, like $400 because it was, and here's the thing. It's a 32-inch TV that's 1080p. And I looked for at 32-inch TVs now anymore. It doesn't look like they make a 1080p 32-inch screen anymore. They're all 720p.
Yeah, because it was so expensive to make them in 1080p.
Yeah, so it's got one of the nicest pictures. And we got it for dirt cheap.
Nice. Chris Lane said Best Buy can go jump off a cliff, but there's not many other stores. I'm not telling you not to go shop there.
Just not encouraging you to do so.
It's fine. It just as a corporation, I have issues with the way that they treat their employees. So Best Buy, you know, like people will tell you, oh, Best Buy's commission. Best Buy is not commission. Best Buy does not pay their employees commission. They used to have a nice bonus structure inside of mobile, but they destroyed that as well.
Yeah.
But they expect you to sell like you are on commission. And when I took that job, like the conversation I had, they're like, well, it's non-commission, you know, sales. And I'm like, so you're just going to pay me to come in and talk to people and hope they buy stuff? And they're like, yep. I'm like, all right. You know, and so this was before I was as introverted as I am now, but, and I thoroughly enjoyed my job and I was really good at it. And then it got to the point where like you had to have this clipboard and you had to take notes. Now, supposedly it's changed a lot around there. They let you wear like jeans and stuff now, but it just like you had to keep documents on every customer and, you know, it was always about the complete sale. And I'm like, yeah.
Most uncomfortable sales experience I ever had was my uncle used to own a Hyundai dealership, but they live 7 or 8 hours away in terms of drive. And Kay and I were looking at, we needed to get a second vehicle. We were looking at replacing, we had a Ford Focus wagon and it was like already 10 years old. We were looking to replace it. So we went into one of the Hyundai dealerships here just to look at them to see what we were, you know, like we were never intending on buying from them. So like, don't want to waste anybody's time. And so, you know, this one guy starts talking to us and so he's talking about, oh, well, you know, there's some sales and stuff coming up. If you want, we can give you a call if one of the vehicles you're looking at goes on sale. I'm like, well, you know, I prefer to give the sale to my uncle. And I'm like, so, well, okay, we'll give you our phone number. If something goes on sale, let us know. And we left, but I told him, like, my uncle owns this dealership and this was going on. And he brings over one of the sales managers and the sales manager's like, you know, you really should be buying your vehicle from where, like, you're going to have to bring it back here for warranty. You should be buying it from us if you're going to be getting your warranty work done here. And I was like, first of all, you're saying it's going to need warranty work? Like you're guaranteeing me that it's going to need work under warranty?
Yeah, no doubt.
So after that, he would call and leave voicemails with us 3 times a week, asking when we were going to come back in for a test drive, if we were still looking at other vehicles. And like, so we went into that place twice. The second time we were going in, that was when we were looking for the second car. The first time it was replacing the Focus. And I said, well, we're torn between different vehicles or whatever. We're looking at either like a new Subaru or a new Hyundai. And he's like, well, we've got used Subarus here. So no matter what you need, we can sell you what you're looking for. And I'm like, but I'm not looking for a used Subaru. He's like, oh, we got lots of good used Subarus. And he's like, they don't take no for an answer. And it wasn't like a good sales experience. Like it wasn't like, oh, he's trying his best to make the sale. It was just like, you know, you're not listening. You're just waiting for the next point to tell us why we should buy from you. So anyways, it was pushy.
Yeah, well, you know, no offense to anybody in the community that might be a car salesman, but that's a rough industry to be in to begin with.
Yep.
And then there's a lot of them out there that are just shady. I mean, it's how they make their money. So they, you know.
Oh, there you go.
That's why no sales position should ever be commissioned. I mean, I understand why companies do it, but then you end up pushing stuff. I mean, even working at Best Buy in a non-commissioned environment, there were certain employees that would push stuff on the customer just to get the biggest sale. And it's like, it's just so wrong. I refuse to sell anybody something they didn't need. And in fact, I applied for a job when I was in high school. I applied for a job at Advance Auto Parts. It was Discount Auto Parts back then, but And I didn't get the job, and I applied multiple times. And finally, the manager said to me, he said, "Listen, I can't hire you." And I said, "Why not?" And he said, "Because you're the kind of person that if somebody walked into the store and said, 'Oh, I need a new battery for my car because it's doing blah, blah, blah,' you would say, 'Oh, you don't need a whole new battery. You just need this terminal. You don't need that $100 battery. You need this $2 terminal.'" And he's like, "That's bad for my store." And I stopped shopping at that store. In fact, I didn't shop with Advance Auto for the longest time because of that. So
I just realized I kept focusing on my background. So now I've touched my face, so I should stay just as pretty like as I am right
dude,
now.
don't touch your face. Corona.
It's not as much of an issue here as it is over there.
You recommend that one for 73. What? $73? I didn't even pull it up. I just grabbed the link out of the description of the video. Oh no, that's not the right one. Sorry. I meant to give you a link to this one. I mean, that one is a lot of fun, but it's quite a bit more money. And I actually like the programming on the little wooden one better. So hang on. My apologies. I'm glad you said something.
I'm gonna get ready. So here's my next troubleshooting step. I'm gonna try and grab a screen capture of that logo that comes up on the screen, and then try and do a Google image reverse image search and see if I can find it somewhere. See what it means.
Say that again.
So every time my camera crops out, it displays that little icon, right?
Right.
So I want to try and capture an image of it, and then try to do like a Google reverse image search to see if I can find out what it means. Kayleen, any city you're in is a hot spot.
Yeah, I wonder if they don't. I'm not seeing a listing for this one at all, Mike. I wonder if they took it off, and that's why now that link goes to the other one.
She just face palmed. Good.
Join my Patreon, buy some Fun King yellow filament. Well, buying Fun King 3D yellow PETG from IC3D does not actually benefit me at all. The only thing that benefits me from that sale is in the notes. If you put that they need to name it officially Fun King 3D yellow PETG. But I don't get any kickback out of that or anything. The kickback that I got from that was that they made that color for me. That was all I ever went looking for. Man, I don't know, Mike. I don't see this listed at all. I wonder if they did away with this kit for some reason. That's too bad. I really like this one. I'll tell you what, I will, I'm going to have to write myself a note because, old age. I will reach out to my contact at Elegoo and see if it's available, because it was a fun kit to build, and the programming on it. The big one does all the same programming and stuff, and looks way cooler, and it's made out of acrylic instead of wood. But you had to reflash the Arduino depending on what you wanted it to do. And this one actually has switches where you can change between modes. So it was just like one big flash, and then you were done. So.
I feel like I'm getting close, so I'm going to hold down. So the keyboard I've got doesn't have a dedicated print screen button, so I have to hold like function and stuff like that. So I'm holding down all but the print screen button so that when it happens, I can just push this quick.
Should I do it on my side too?
Everybody, get ready to tweet it at me. Somebody needs to grab this.
Well, if it goes viral on Twitter, then maybe somebody can tell us what's going on.
Hashtag Sonygate.
Are we close to time?
I wasn't timing directly. I just feel like it's close.
Oh,
We could be 3 minutes away. I'm just wasting time. Like,
my finger's going to be all fatigued holding down the Windows key.
I've
Dude,
got the shakes.
do, 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 do. Do you know if you can use a Chromebook computer with those? I think as long as you can run the IDE, the Arduino IDE. Looks like Glenn took too long to review.
Got it.
Got it. Looks like Glenn took too long to review a product. No, the videos are up for it. Just the link that's in the description now goes to the other one.
Okay, so let's do Google, or let's do reverse image search. See if I can figure out what it means.
Oh, I think I was working on hooking the Prusa back up, but I got sidetracked. Got to get it fired back up and tuned back in so that I can print a new electronics case so I can tear it all apart and replace the electronics case.
I'm trying to remember which reverse image search will actually, because like I know some of them basically just look for, it has to be the same image. Like it does checksum analysis and stuff like that.
Right.
But I know that there's also some.
TinEye was one that was really popular, but it was easy to bypass it. Like you could change enough pixels in it to.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm making dinner tonight. The last time I made dinner on a live stream, I ended up ordering the wrong thing.
Let's see. Are you calling Papa tonight again?
Yeah, it looks that way. Grosses me out. That's not making, that's getting dinner. that's as close as it gets anymore. Let me tell you what, my wife takes such good, I shouldn't say this too loud, she might hear me. My wife takes such good care of me that like I used to cook, don't have to anymore. Like to the point where if I'm getting something out of the refrigerator, like leftovers to warm up, she's like, I'll take care of that for you.
So I got a litany of images that are like stylistically similar, but I can't find one that actually, like it's all company logos that it returned.
Paul wants to know if all 26 Pi cases are going to be consoles. He must have tuned in a little late and missed your one that you showed.
No, in fact, so the next one is, and then the two after that are not. I don't think I should spoil all of them though. I've spoiled this one because I mean, this one's quite functional, you know. So this one here, you take your Pi, you toss it in there. It's got little posts in it, so it'll actually like it's you know in there now. It won't wiggle back and forth, and then you lock and load it into place, and then you're all set. And then you can throw it at somebody or whatever.
Big Mike has offered me $100 for my Corvette. It's a pretty good offer, but
I'll do 101.
I was going to say I need a few more zeros after that.
101 fitty.
John Butler says, sounds like your wife doesn't want you in the kitchen. I'm a messy cook, that's for sure. I do make a mess when I make stuff.
I do have something cool I can maybe show off if I can find all the parts I need to display it. I don't remember if I've shown my progress on this in the past, but so I've been working on, and this isn't part of the Pi case design because this doesn't use a Raspberry Pi. Yeah, I've definitely shown this before, right? The ultra miniature NES Classic I've been designing. It's this guy here.
Yeah,
it's
but
not gonna close up because
it doesn't count because it's not a pie. It's not a raspberry.
it's an orange pie.
Yeah, it's not a Raspberry Pi.
You're not a Raspberry Pi, but I'm not holding that against you. Yeah, the bottom of this is a revision behind, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I might be able to force it a little bit to. Yeah, there we go. It's close enough. So the original version that I was building this on was the Orange Pi Zero, which is, I just had it in my hand, this guy here. So it's super tiny. It's a quad core system with 512 megs of RAM, but you'll notice all it has on it is Ethernet and USB and no video out. So I started designing a case for it because I was using this to power a 3D printer. It'll still run Octoprint with Docker and all that stuff. Well, you can run it in other ways, but in this, so there's the regular GPIO that you have that's similar to what's on like a Raspberry Pi or whatever, and then this one also has a secondary header set on it, which has composite video and analog audio on it. So I started designing a case around it to turn it into a functional Pi, like a functional RetroPie. And then I found out that they offer a very similar board that has HDMI out. So I've been redesigning the case to have HDMI, but so it's going to have dual USB in the front, functioning power button. I found an actual momentary switch that fits into the case design. But the kicker is, here is the actual NES Classic. This is the miniature Nintendo released by Nintendo, and there's mine. So it's like the NES Mini. So yeah, I've got a picture of this stacked where this here is like 1/6 the size of an actual Nintendo. But
That'd be awesome in the car.
I like the Dreamcast case for the Pi, but it doesn't look like it takes the fan and cooler I mentioned. You didn't reply to my email. I did receive it. We've had a bunch of stuff going on. So I haven't had a chance to reply, Tristan. I'm sorry about that. It will not have quite enough clearance. I actually ordered while we were doing the video that day, I ended up ordering the other version of the cooler, right? So I've got this one here, which I got off Amazon, but I haven't been able to get the flat version off Amazon. So I've ordered that one from AliExpress. And I'm also looking at the other case design that you were talking about. NES Micro Mini. Yes, that works because they had the Game Boy Micro that they released, which was like this ultra tiny Game Boy Advance, where it's actually the Game Boy Advance cartridges, which are only this tall, wouldn't go all the way in. They stuck out because the system was so small.
Oh, it got really quiet. I still want to figure out how to do like a Punch It Up live.
I'm going to switch. So first of all, can you tell me where, this is directed at Chris, can you tell me where you saw the firmware version? I'm going to switch to this camera so I can unplug my Sony Handycam, because Chris says his is running 1.02, if that helps. So I'm going to see if I can. Version. No, wait. Version. I'm running version 1.02. What the heck? You know what? I think I'm going to try and do like a hardware reset on this thing. I'm going to pull the SD card out so I don't actually
wipe it. You're running 1.02 and you're running 1.2?
1.02 as well. Same as him. Oh. So let's go in here somewhere. There's an initialize option.
Ricky said, shh, we're sleeping. How you doing, Ricky?
Ain't no rest for the wicked, friend. Reset to default settings. Press OK to reboot.
John Butler said, I have 4 pies and I'm going to end up with 26 pie cases. They're like accessories.
I mean, if you just want to measure the height of the Pi with a cooler installed, then that works for me. Okay. January. Thinks it's January 2016. Oh, at least got the time zone right. What are we? We're July now, but only just, right? July's almost over,
Yeah, I was gonna say almost August.
and it's 5:25 p.m.
Only in the bestest time zone.
Well, I only give the information that matters. None of the other places matter. Oh, look, you just lost subscribers.
You can't go below 0.
Challenge accepted.
Oh. Oh, I didn't realize you were moving, Ricky, but yeah, my wife said something to me the other night. She said, "Do you think that we will always live here in Florida?" And I'm like, "Do you really want to leave this house?" She's like, "I don't know." And I said, "Could you imagine what it would take me to move? Like, just the amount of crap that I have to get 2 semi trucks."
There's a bunch of stuff that wasn't on the screen before that is now. I wonder if I messed with something at some point. Okay, I'm gonna get you to get your timer ready again. We're gonna turn this camera on and off again and see how.
All right, hang on, because I'm in the middle of making dinner, but
I accidentally just turned on Night Shot. Now I can't get it to go off. I look like that Paris Hilton movie.
When Sony had the one night vision camera where you could put a UV filter on it and see through clothing.
I don't remember that.
Those were fun times.
Well, as the king of fun, I trust your judgment.
All right, you tell me when you're ready.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, this is for all the, I don't
For all
know,
the marbles.
all the failures. Ah, my desk is covered with stuff right now because everything that was in the laundry room is currently not in the laundry room.
Well, that's how mine is from about here forward, where you can't see.
Hey, we're back to
Xander, you want to take a puppet?
4Ks. Attaboy. Paul's been editing videos.
What's that?
Said Paul's been editing videos.
I haven't.
Well, you gave up, right?
How is it to have desk space nowadays? Well, this space is great. Man, if you guys could see my regular desk right now, though. I thought about moving the YouTube studio back over there just so I'd have a reason to have to clean it. No, I looked into bringing in a dumpster. I was going to bring in like a 20 or 30-yard dumpster and park it outside the garage and just start like massively cleaning. And it's like $500 to get a dumpster. So I don't think so. I'll take it away in garbage bags. Carl, the FK1 is right there, and I'd show you with the fancy cameras, but I only have this one.
Just responding to a message that needed to be responded to right away.
It's like 2 feet that way. It's in its forever home. That's its permanent spot.
Even if they move out of the house, the printer's staying at this point.
Yeah, it's so hard to get it out of here. I'll just sell it with the house. Printing. Actually, I haven't printed on anything on it since the last Big Benchy. Like, I haven't printed anything on it that you guys haven't seen. So just because I haven't spent any time working on it. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys seen my Twitter post. I have been fighting a bit of depression, and so I have really not had the drive to do anything. I mean, even to come on to stream today was hard. Once I'm here, it's fine. It's just that It's that drive. I'm working on a project at work right now that is absolutely making.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it went.
you're back now.
Yeah, but was that this cam? Was that your Sony camera?
No, that was you. You froze up.
Oh, it was me. Okay. I thought
You hit stop?
because we're only at 3 minutes.
Okay, you didn't stop it though. So
No, I didn't stop it. But yeah, so I just haven't really had a drive to do much lately, which is why I took on cleaning the garage, because what drive do you need for that? And the angrier I am, the more I want to throw away. So now 3D printing is really taking kind of a back seat right now, but it'll be all right. This project that I'm working on at work will be over. It's due on Tuesday. Whether or not I'll have it done by then, I don't know. But yeah, it's a horrific project. Horrific.
I believe in you, Glenn.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I don't want to believe in me though. It's like I don't want to finish it. I just want to run away from it. These architects, and I'm sorry, anybody that's out there that's an architect, I apologize, because I'm sure it's like car salesmen. Some of you guys are probably awesome, but for the most part, architects suck. Like they know in their head what they're designing, and so they just design. But then there's so much missing detail for the guy who doesn't know what they're designing, and you can go through the process of requesting more information, but it takes forever and just, I don't know, it's a mess. And then sometimes you get the structural engineer will specify something that doesn't line up with the architectural, and not just because like the architect may not know a beam needs to go here. That's what the structural engineer is for, and the structural, but the walls won't even line up, and then you're like, okay, which wall is right then?
Yep.
Hello, Robbie Mac.
Return of the Mac. Oh my God.
Ron Baller said, I swapped my regular trash trash service over to a 3 cubic yard dumpster. They dump every 2 weeks. I can throw anything in it. I can, for the most part, throw anything I want in the garbage, but we have those big county issued garbage cans that they pick up and dump automatically. So.
Oh, did it again. That didn't fix it.
Yeah, it didn't fix it.
Like, I don't.
I don't know what Mike actually means by that, but Mike said, Glenn speaks the truth, and if you need a change, just give up. That's not what I'm saying.
So the fact that it's every 5 minutes on the dot leads me to believe that it's not like it's not like a physical problem with the camera. I just understand why mine does it and Chris's doesn't.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say it's a glitch in the camera. I mean, it's obviously intentional.
Yeah.
It's just figuring out what it is.
I wonder if, let's see. What if I throw it at the wall?
I don't know if that'll fix it.
Oh,
I mean, it'll stop
guarantee
it with that.
After I'm done with that, I guarantee it'll never do it again. Power save.
Ricky said it's because he's Chris Riley.
The thing is, maybe Chris is like slowly trying to drive me nuts. His actually does it, or he doesn't even own it because
he doesn't even have one.
He's like, yeah, it's been on for 45 minutes. It's giving me no problems. Power save was turned off, Carl, completely. And it's not even like it's shutting itself down. It just closes the iris and reopens it.
It just blinks.
Blink. It's a blinking illicit. So everybody's homework for tonight, other than making some friends and then bringing them here, is to go watch my Dreamcast video so it gets 100 views.
Tristan said, as a builder, I'm always filling in the missing details from the drawings to complete the job, which is really sad that it has to be that way. But, and then, like I have some building experience, but the main thing that my company does is masonry work. We lay block and stone and stuff, but it's like I don't lay block. I'm an estimator, but yet I have to know how to lay block because I have to be able to build it in my head. And then it's like this job, we're going to have to charge a premium on it because it's going to be, it was hard to estimate. It's going to be really hard to build. So.
It is a Donkey Kong water bottle that is designed to look like a Donkey Kong barrel. Yes.
Yeah, when James and I first got on today, that was sitting like it was just on the edge of the camera view, so I could see just a little bit of the bottle and then a little bit of the top, and it looked like a bottle of Maker's Mark. And I'm like, "You got alcohol sitting there?" And he's like, "No, it's a Donkey Kong water bottle."
The thing is, too, I've never taken I like this bottle. I've never taken a good look at it though. The image on it is so like pixelated and rough looking. It's like they drew it out and then went like, oh, it's gonna be blown up that size. There's enough resolution for that. You know what? Nuts to it. Just use it anyways.
Yeah, just do
like,
it.
It's like back in the day when you're like, oh, I want to turn this picture into a poster, so you just stretched it, right? It's like you don't get any additional detail that way. You're just
you have to enhance it.
Oh, you gotta zoom and enhance. That's what they got.
Enhance.
I love. There was a scene in Futurama where the captain on the bridge is like, "What is that? Zoom in on it." And they zoom in. And he's like, I don't understand. Why does it look all pixelated? He's like, just because we zoom in doesn't mean that there's more detail to be shown. I think his name was Kip, the first officer. Look at that low frames per second off my Pi Cam. I need to wire everything. It's running off wireless, and the wireless isn't great in the basement.
I think wireless as a whole sucks. And I have good wireless, and it sucks. So I hardwire everything that I can. I don't understand because that pretty much happens every week. I thought I'd nip that in the butt too, where I do dump connection for just a split second every stream. So it looks like I'm going to have to write a strongly worded email to Comcast.
I'm really enjoying trying to design stuff with integrated hinges and moving parts and stuff like that. I was impressed that I was able to get this hinge to work. Although, I made it like fairly robust because I don't want it to break the first time you open and close it. So the thing is, the tolerances are off a little bit for the posts that locked on the front. So the final version actually has these posts are thicker, but then cut in half, so that the part that goes towards the Ethernet and USB, you can hear it's just rubbing a little bit. So now it's thicker and then cut in half, so it's actually thinner, but what's left is still more robust, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, how many times are you going to open and close it anyway, though? I mean, the idea of a case is to put it in there and leave it in there.
Well, the original design was for the Chris Riley because he was talking about wanting something that he could swap pies in and out of since he's always working on stuff. So the goal was to have this be something that you can, open and close it and all that stuff. But I didn't understand Chris's stuff, and now it's too late. Oh, didn't fix it.
Well, one of these days we'll figure out this whole streaming thing and get it right.
What I'm gonna end up doing is getting an SD card that's literally just for when we're streaming, and I'll put this in and I'll record to it, and then I'll just format the card at the end of each stream. That'll be my hack. Actually, I should try that. I should see if, just to make sure,
if by actually recording it.
Yeah, if it kills it. So I'm gonna get ready with your timer again. Okay. And I'm gonna zoom all the way in on my nose.
I was watching a more important timer, like when dinner's going to be here, but I can change it.
Look at all this! Look at all the sawdust on my glasses.
It's still running. It was 12 minutes and 20 seconds ago.
Ready?
Yep. You tell me when. 3,
2, 1. I hit the record button. Oh, cannot output during 4K movie shooting.
Oh, that failed miserably. uh,
Okay, well, let me switch it to not 4K video then. I'm spending a lot of time messing with something that's just supposed to work.
Tristan said that Chris has enough printers to make 100 cases, so don't worry about the hinges lasting. But it's nice that we can see your menu options.
Can you?
Yeah. Like when you were in there, like it was showing up on the...
Oh. That's a thing. Well, then I can show you. That wasn't showing up before, though, was it?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't normally pay attention to you, but
I don't usually pay attention to myself. I guess I set it to video filming mode. That's image quality size. Trying to remember where the setting is for the quality of the video. Here? No, that's just 4K. Okay, so if I set it to this, now we're in HD mode.
that looks terrible.
That worked. Okay, hold on. So I can probably. So I think what happened is it's probably changed the resolution of the output from the to the Elgato. So if I do deactivate and then activate, yeah. So now it's outputting in 4K. Okay, I'm gonna see if it does it in 4K mode then.
Well, it looks horrible.
That's just me. It's my face.
No, it was like
Oh, it's interlaced.
there you go, interlaced.
I don't like this. I spent $1,200 on a camera just so I could fight with it all the time. And it switched the microphone back to 5.1, which I don't know. I don't know. I don't even remember where I did this last time. Isn't this terrible? It's pretty terrible. Oh, it was here. HD. Let's try this one.
Let's just try them all.
Can I do them all simultaneously? And let's see if it screws up the... No, it's still interlacing. Why? Why would anybody want this?
All right. What was the model on that camera again, so I don't buy one of those? Actually, I'm not a big Sony fan as a whole. I've been eyeballing a Panasonic 4K camera for a while, but being I don't really make videos anymore, what's the point? I'll just give up. No.
If at first you don't succeed, give up.
I'm sad I drank that whole bottle of Coca-Cola on stream, and not once did Coke reach out to me about a sponsorship.
They're just the worst.
Well, they got extra money. They stopped advertising on Facebook. They could come and advertise on our show. I bet I'd do it a lot cheaper than Facebook does. In fact, if they just support my habit of Coke Zeros, I'd be good with that. Yeah, the doctor told me I had my doctor's appointment this week, which was really cool. It was one of those tele visits. So I got to video chat with my doctor, which was pretty awesome. I was going to do it here in the studio, but I didn't. I did it from my phone because I felt that was a little over the top. But he told me that I needed to start drinking more water.
So my doctor was telling me.
And he said, and getting it from coffee doesn't count. And I said, yeah, but how about Mountain Dew? And I don't mean that diet crap either. I mean, like the good stuff. And again, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows I'm diabetic. And he's like, no. 4K overrated, 1080p is where it's at. That's what I keep telling myself.
interlaced like this.
Every other line.
I'm kind of upset with this camera right now, to be honest. This is annoying me. I was like, well, at least I can do 4K streams, and it was like, hey, guess what, buddy?
So then is it actually in 1080i?
And I can't find anything where it says that it should be interlaced, but I can unless it's the capture device doing it.
Yeah, but it's a 4K capture device.
Yeah, but maybe the way it handles the Elgato handles 1080p. Like, I can't guarantee.
My camera's a 1080p running through a 4K cam link.
Oh, right. So it should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, look how great this looks.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Let's just go to 8K and quit messing around.
I can barely handle 1K. Hashtag my wife. We're gonna let this run and see if it still resets itself. I don't have a timer running, but there's only 15 minutes left in the stream, so
if it happens 3 times, we'll know.
If it happens once, threshold is 3 times. Otherwise, it didn't happen at
all. Yeah, nothing like doing a live stream with a glitchy camera. I'm gonna have to find a new co-host.
Oh, why don't you get Chris Riley? Oh, because he abandoned you. My last doctor's appointment, I was talking to her about, and she's like, how much water do you drink? I'm like, well, I've legitimately gone like 3 or 4 days without drinking water and only drinking Coke Zero. She's like, you can't do that.
Yeah, but the main ingredient in Coke Zero is water.
Yeah, so it's like 355 milliliters of liquid. I'm assuming 320 of it's water. So that's like a cup and a bit. And I drink 12 cans a day, so I'm ahead.
Yeah, just because your body has to work harder to process it.
Body's
well,
lazy.
Is like right before I went in for blood work, which was a week ago. I had been working in the garage every day, sweating. So I'm sure I was dehydrated anyway. But I mean, he's right. I definitely need to drink more water. So I've begun to drink more water, which means that I have to get rid of more water more often. Chris Riley said, "Ow, that hurt." Hurt me too, Chris. Hurt me too. But every day is a new adventure. I'm having a hard time accessing my Pi for some reason.
Did you already eat it?
I might be going to the wrong one. I don't know.
Oh, Chris just unfollowed me on Twitter.
He just unfollowed you.
And unsubscribe.
I know you're not supposed to just like pull the plug on a Pi, but I did it anyway.
That's all I ever do.
It's not good for it. Yeah, my Linux server locked up on me the other day, which scares me because that thing never locks up. And then when I rebooted it, it threw on some kind of a memory error, but I shut it off completely and turned it back on, and then it seems to be okay. But I mean, it has been running nonstop for like 5 years now. Hey, look at that. I rebooted it and it's working fine now.
I've got a couple of Pis that are dead, and it was the kind of thing that I never looked too far into what happened with them or whatever. Oh,
there you go.
That time it completely reset itself.
Wow, yeah, we're looking at the Sony logo. Sony Handycam. It's totally tired of your crap.
Oh wait, maybe it didn't reset itself. This is that ad crap that Chris was talking about.
Oh,
son of a gun!
Demo mode.
Chris, where do you turn that off? I turned it off years ago. Demo mode off.
Demo mode.
Make sure it's off. Version is 1.02. I wonder if it's something to do with that. Because I hadn't turned it off again and it still did the same weird thing. I'm I don't know. We're running out of time for me to try things. I'm going to go back to 4K mode. I'm going back to 4K mode.
11 minutes. That's 2 resets.
Reboots.
Tristan said, have you tried turning it off and on again?
I have. Oh. Awesome.
Steven said demo is in demolition mode. And then Robbie Mac said demo mode has built-in self-destruct.
Wait. I'm holding my printer above my head. Wait. There we go. Yep. Yeah, there we go. Nope. I'm gonna get this right. There.
Dinner's almost ready.
We're having lasagna tonight, and Kayleen's decided that we're having broccoli because now the house smells like farts.
I have 2 boys. My house smells like farts all the time anyway.
It's Xander Farts Thursday. Hey.
Well, again, if you go to fartgenerator.com.
Fartgenerator.com. Huh.
I bought that domain on a live stream.
He's at 193 subscribers.
Yeah.
He's almost at 200.
Yeah, and he doesn't even stream anymore.
Guess what?
Or make videos.
Guess what? Now he's at 192. How many people are watching the stream right now?
39.
Okay, so I want to get him down to 180 for like 1 minute and then bring him back up. Everybody, this is the project we need to do right now. He's 192. I need 12 people to go and unsubscribe from him. The power of the internet in my hands. Let's see, where are we at? Still at 192. Well, now I'm disappointed.
Yeah, but see, you're basing it on the fact that the 39 people that are watching us actually already subscribed to them.
That's true. Are you complaining about the dinner I made you? Wow. No, I'm complaining about the house, not the food.
Yeah, it's when the kids were younger, like they didn't know how to say, like, what are we having for dinner? They would always they walk into the room and they'd go, what's that smell?
My nephew Jackson, he's so blind, be like, I hate this. Chase, I hate this. So then, like, Jackson, like, that's so negative. Don't tell us you don't love it. He's like, I don't love this. Nobody went unsubscribed from him. I'm thoroughly disappointed. I resubscribed to him now.
Well, again, I mean, that's based on you thinking that these people actually already subscribed to him. No, he's into this game called Rec Room. Yeah, Rec Room, which like the graphics in it are real cheesy, like even worse than the old Wii people.
The old Wii people.
Arms. You got like
Your hands aren't stubbed.
your whole body is a stub.
No, it's not.
But yeah, he's like really like crazy wanting to save money so he can buy a VR headset.
Also on mine.
Is it any good?
John Strand unsubscribed. There we go. I'm kidding. Like the only reason I get rid of mine is to buy a new one.
Oh.
It's the Rift. So it's the one with the 2 controllers, but the new ones you don't have to put the sensors up in the room, which I kind of like. But
yeah, I don't know. Well, see, he's which one are you looking at? There's 3 different ones that he was debating between.
I know that the Steam one is supposed to be the best, but also I think its price tag reflects that.
What's that, buddy?
It's the Rift S.
The Rift S.
The Rift S is that's the one that's more wireless, right?
The Quest is standalone.
The-
And then the Rift S is
The Quest is standalone. The Rift S is
like connects to the PC.
it connects to the PC, but we have to do upgrades on his PC. It's
Yeah.
borderline. It's borderline. He's got a decent grad. He's got a 1080 Ti.
Oh, that'll do it. I'm running mine off of a GTX 970.
Okay, yeah, no, he's got a 1050 Ti.
Oh, 1050.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's borderline. The 970 doesn't do everything. 1080, obviously, it'll kill that stuff, no problem. But I will say that like Kay bought it for me when it was like $1,000, and I used it a lot for the first like couple of weeks, and then the novelty kind of wears off. And now it's like when you get the urge, you go to it. It's not like,
well, and see, that's what I'm afraid with him, that he's going to save up this $600 and plunk down $600, and then like the novelty is going to wear off really fast.
I think I think that's the case for a lot of people. So.
Yeah, and see, I can't handle that stuff at all. It gives me motion sickness. Like I can ride any amusement park ride, any of that, fine. But that virtual stuff, makes me sick. All right, so anybody out there that's running a Prusa, I read online that there was an issue with the latest firmware, which could just be, well, the 3S runs 3.9 as well. Has anybody run into issues with 3.9?
I think we just passed 5 minutes.
It's
I think it's been 6 minutes.
It's got to be close if it's not. Yeah.
It was 5:50 when I brought it back online. It's 5:56 now. But I'm trying to think if there's like time in between or whatever. Because definitely at 5:49, you've got 11 minutes. That's 2 resets.
Right. And then you messed with it for a while. What did you change?
I reset I did a reset on the configuration stuff.
Right.
Then I turned off power saving mode, and it did it again after that. And then I put it to 1080p mode for streaming. And at the 5-minute mark, when it would have normally displayed the error, it displayed the advertisement stuff. So then I turned demo mode off, but demo mode was off beforehand too. I'm just wondering if it was like some order of operations. We're at 5:57. I think we're golden.
Huh.
Well, there we go. This stream wasn't a complete waste of time after all.
Oh, it never is. Even just hanging out talking with everybody makes it not worth, not a waste of time.
I won't be here next week, so y'all have to behave yourselves.
Yeah, which brings up a good point. I don't know what's going to happen next week. My wife has actually offered to hang out with me for the 2 hours if I want to do it by myself. I haven't decided if I'm going to find a guest. I might auction off the guest spot, the highest bidder.
What if you get yourself all riled up?
Get all riled up. He's kind of a busy guy. I hate to keep bugging him. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. I mean, again,
sorry, go ahead.
The biggest thing that's been dragging me down, mentally and emotionally, has been this project I'm working on. And come Tuesday, I'm out of time, whether I finish it or not. So I will likely feel better because Friday afternoons, man, I am depleted. And then through the weekend, I start feeling better. And then now I start realizing that the weekend's over and tomorrow I have to go back into this horrible. Martin says $1 million first bid. Do you want to come on with me next weekend, Martin? If you want to come on with me on Sunday, I'll have you on. That'd be very cool. You have to speak English though. Did you ever hear about that? People were harassing him, asking him why he doesn't speak English. He's like, because I'm Icelandic.
We're also sending all our healing vibes to Martin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hope you feel better soon, buddy. I haven't caught the full note of what's been going on, but I saw your message on Twitters.
He posted in the dark Twitters. Felipe said I was going to say pick me, but no English. What is it with guests around here and their horrible English?
Sean says, "Why would anyone want to be on when James is gone and it's just Glenn?"
That's a good point, but I wasn't going to be the one to bring it up.
I'm the one that sells this show. Did I tell you I got a comment on one of my videos? And this is where because I said join us, Glenn with two N's, and that guy with the unfortunate voice.
Right.
Somebody commented on one of my videos. Ouch, unfortunate voice.
All right, where's my firmware? Oh, it opened over there. That's why. Too many monitors.
Ooh. Holy cow. Don't know why I'm tired. I've only been working my butt off. Sean, I just saw your message about the demo mode. My theory would be that demo mode doesn't work when in 4K mode, so it just I don't know, resets the aperture on it. I don't know.
It was trying to load demo mode, but it couldn't, so it just blinked its eye and went back to doing what it was doing.
So it's like, what's special about this camera? Well, it's an ultra high quality 4K Handycam. Sweet. And so you'll put that in the demo. Yeah, the demo will explain that. Only one problem: demo won't run in 4K.
And you can't actually stop it. It's going to do it every 5 minutes, whether you want it to or not.
There's actually an icon on the screen now that lets me know that the camera is zoomed in. It never used to do that before. That's something that it wasn't doing until after I reset it. So that's interesting. I turn on the camera and I'd be like trying to like move it far enough away that I'm in. I'm like, wait a second. It's like, oh, it's zoomed in by 20%.
Any chance you guys could do a video on finishing tips for 3D projects?
Well, we have to finish some 3D projects first.
I'd have to finish any project.
Are you talking about like surface finishing? Because neither of us are very good at props.
Yeah, I'm assuming like painting and that kind of stuff. But yeah, no. I bought an airbrush 3 years ago so I could learn how to airbrush my prints, and it's still brand new in the box.
It's one of those. Well, that's like, so one of the projects I was working on before Christmas was 3D printing things in resin, casting them, and then making them out of metal. And I bought pewter, like pure pewter, an ingot of pewter, and a forge to melt the stuff down, and all this other stuff. All that's still in the boxes underneath my desk still.
Oh, yeah. My father used to say the path to hell is paved with good intentions.
Half my basement is paved with good intentions.
Yeah, Martin paints some wicked models. That's true. Robbie Mack said, I'm still waiting for Walter's finishing tips on the Stargate.
I'd have to be able to finish it first to be able to give you tips on it.
Oh.
Well, we're 6:03. I know we were late starting, but it sounds like my wife's got supper ready to go.
Well, it looks like your camera's not freaking out anymore.
Yeah, we did something. We fixed something.
Why didn't you fix that? Like, why didn't you do that in the beginning?
I'm gonna have to ask you to read between the lines.
At least like the audio kept going and stuff, and it wasn't like super intrusive. So
yep. And I got used to it, so I'd pause, right? Like it'd be like.
Well, that was when my machine was locking up all the time. Like Chris and Walter would be talking, and we'd be in the middle of something, and like I would be in the middle of a sentence, and it would like drop out, and I'd have to restart my machine. So when I'd come back into the room, I'd start right where I was, like right where I'd left off.
Never miss a beat.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, it is that 6 p.m. witching hour, which is the time that the most awesome 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time stream ends. And I know that's sad. I do I do want to thank you guys all for being here. I also want to thank you guys for the support through Twitters and the comments that were made, and it is greatly appreciated. And everything's okay, and it'll only get better. So, yeah. So, but most likely we will do this again next week. Martin, get with me, send me a message, whatever. We'll figure it out. I don't know. I don't really have anything else. You got anything to plug, James?
I'm gonna toss a link up in chat right now to go watch that video because I'm sad that it didn't hit 100 views.
Yeah, I'm gonna go run it on loop for a while. I'll watch it through both my accounts.
There, I just tossed it up there now. Go watch this video to make me happy.
Yeah, what would make me happy is if you're not already subscribed to James and I, please do. That is 2 individual subscriptions. The links are in the description below. And
And if you're not subscribed to us, how the heck did you find this video in the first place?
But yeah, that applies to anybody that watches it in the future as well. Thumbs ups are always appreciated as well. It does pad my ego and makes me feel better. Other than that, I don't really got anything going. It was a good stream. I had a great time. I know we didn't talk much about 3D printing, but I mean, as a disclaimer, it does say that right in the description that there's a good chance we're going off the rails because that's what we do.
Frankly, I still don't know what is 3D printing.
No, we'll figure it out one of these days.
Nobody knows for sure.
But thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As I say every week, without you guys, it would be quite pointless to do these streams. We love each and every one of you, and we appreciate you guys tuning in each week. It is a great deal of fun to hang out with you guys. Other than that, I got nothing. One of these days, I'm going to create an outro because the intro that I use says like stream starting soon. But
Wait, play the intro in reverse. Just reverse it perfectly and just play it in reverse like it's.
back it up. Maybe
Yep.
we could do that. So,
It's your homework for next week. No, the week after. I have to be here the first time you use it.
oh, okay.
You got 2 weeks. There you go.
All right, I get 2 weeks to do it. So again, James won't be here next week, but I most likely will be in one form or another. And my wife may join me, and looks like we may have a guest host. So that's it. Thank you guys. Until next time, as always,
Print on.
on.